All the world is waiting for you and the magic you possess. Do, 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 do. Hey there. Welcome back. Once again, it is time for the Golden Age of DC Comics 365 Days, where I take this beloved hardcover coffee table book given to me about 2 decades ago by one of my best friends. This has been surfing my coffee table ever since and has been a constant source of comic book shop style conversations, the kind I wish to recreate here today with you. Thank you so very much for tuning in today. The Golden Age of DC Comics runs between 1938 and 1955. The Silver Age begins specifically with October 1956. The DC Comics release of Showcase number 4, and the first appearance of the Silver Age, the brand new Barry Allen, The Flash. Yeah, and so the Silver Age runs between 1956 and 1970. The Bronze Age, I'm a Bronze Age baby myself, runs between 1970 and 1985, and the Copper Age begins in 1985. I get these definitions and standards from the glossary of the Overstreet Comic Book Price Guide. I feel that's a great place to have some standards for conversations about the ages, especially the current age we're in right now. Overstreet states that the Copper Age ends in 1993, and that's with that's Image Comics and Vertigo, and that's a good place to put a line. But it also claims that we've been in a modern age ever since, from 1993 until today. That's 30 years, and that's a long time. Too much has happened, in my humble opinion, and I'd like to be part of that conversation that's going to define the future. Maybe we can contribute our ideas to Overstreet so that we can better define what current age we're in and which one did we just leave and what age are we heading into. Indeed, we're using this this book, this 2004 Abrams press publication, written and curated by Geoff Spear, Les Daniels, and Chip Kidd. There is a link to the Amazon page in the description for this book and the Overstreet Price Guide as well, if you would like your own copies at home. This is a really good book. I like pimping it because it's brought me lots of joy. It's brought me lots of conversation, and I want to pimp it because hopefully it sells a few copies for them. Why not? I mean, geez, I've had this book forever, and it's been a great, fun read, and it's been so fun sharing this with you this year. I do this show just not to make any money or anything. I don't. It's more of I want to share my love of comic books, and hopefully, you share that love too. And this is our conversation. This is our show, and very grateful that you're here. I hope you're clobbering your problems and not being clobbered by them over and out. I use this 365 Days book for its intended purpose. We're going to open up to today's date, which is December the 6th. We are going to look at some comic book art of an antediluvian age. We are going to read the blurb, and then we're going to talk about comic books. And we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. That's right. Indeed. Let's get to it. Turn the page. Oh, I'm seeing double trouble. Oh my goodness. I'm overwhelmed with Wonder Woman. Indeed. Let's read this. This is Story by William Moulton Marston. Art by Harry G. Peter from Comic Cavalcade number 19. February-March of 1947. Most superheroes were sooner or later obliged to confront a sinister twin. But Wonder Woman had a doppelganger who was perhaps even more psychologically debilitating. Her own mother. But the queen cannot break Aphrodite's magic lasso, and instantly the princess whirls another loop around her arms. "You little minx! I forgot! Your lasso is unbreakable! I'm your prisoner!" And we can tell the two apart because one has something on her bicep there that there was or maybe that's the Is that the lasso as well? Or let's see. I think so. Oh my goodness, yeah. It's more of this Wollston Marston's bondage power fantasy stuff. But let's read the rest of the blurb. Okay. In several stories like this one, Queen Hippolyte impersonated Princess Diana, who was dutifully obliged to enjoy it. No one could tell us apart for your armlets. Oh, yeah, so those are, okay, armlets. Those are like, just like bracelets, but for arms. Armlets, yeah. Having access to the Fountain of Youth, Mom was even able to outperform her daughter from time to time. The writer, a psychologist himself, often pushed buttons that his peers didn't even know were on the control panel. Indeed. The whole thing of the daughter becoming the mother wanting to be like the daughter if the daughter is, I don't know, I'm making that up. I'm talking out of my ass now. But, there's always something to unpack in a Golden Age Wonder Woman story. In fact, that's what Pika wrote down, the unpacking of Golden Age Wonder Woman. And, this is Hippolyta, retcons, legacy such as in Fury, Hippolyta Trevor of Earth 2, a.k.a. Fury, and her iterations after the Golden Age. But, and also Psych in comics, because, yeah, I used to like Psych in comics a lot. I still do, but I just think that everything is like, it's boring because everything's trauma-based. And my trauma does not define me, nor does it excuse my behavior or my negative impact on those around me. I own that. And there's just too much. See, I'm the result of good psych. But there's just too much pseudo-psych, pop psych, or just... I just think there's too much trauma in modern comic books. Everyone's got an excuse for their bad behavior. Everyone's PTSD. No, I mean, that's actually a very rare diagnosis, and it's an aggregate of different experiences too. Well, I'll get into that on a later episode. But today's episode, we're sticking to your show notes, Pika. I can barely read your writing. Wow, the mind that produces such indecipherable cursive. I've always had shitty handwriting. It's serious. I read old stuff and I'm like, huh? Yeah, exactly. Crappy. It's always good to slow down and to write your cursive a little bit more eloquently and decipherable. I've noticed that slowing down helps. This station helps me slow down. I usually speak a mile a minute. I mumble. I'm overexcited. No, it's better to slow it down and parse out that energy. Indeed. We're talking about Hippolyta, though. I want to talk about your mother, Diana. What happened between me and your mother? Yeah, your mama. Oh boy. Queen Hippolyta first appeared in All-Star Comics number 8, December of 1941. And she's also been Wonder Woman a few times. And retcon as well. Hippolyta is a... we're going to read this from the wiki, of course. But Queen Hippolyta... This version of, this character's name is Hippolyta, and it also says for Hippolyta Trevor, see Fury, DC Comics, which is a different link to a different who would be Queen Hippolyta's granddaughter. But Queen Hippolyta is a fictional DC Comics superhero based upon the Amazon queen Hippolyta from Greek mythology. Introduced in 1941 during the golden age of comic books, she's the queen of the Amazons of Themyscira, the mother of Wonder Woman, and in some continuities, the adopted mother of Donna Troy. She's had a few live-action iterations as well, The character Hippolyta first appeared in All-Star Comics #8 in the same story that introduced her daughter, Princess Diana, known as Wonder Woman. She was created by the writer William Moulton Marston. And the original version, see, different ages, they give her different colored hair. You might see a blonde Hippolyta in your mind's eye. That could be from the Wonder Woman 78 TV show with Linda Carter. Her mom was played by Cloris Leachman, and she had blonde locks, which was a little bit of syzygy with the printed version. The Silver and Bronze Age Hippolytas were blonde, but the Golden Age Hippolyta here had dark hair, was a brunette like her daughter, and could often pass as, you ever seen pictures of Reese Witherspoon and her daughter? I mean, they look like sisters. I mean, something like that. That's like a pop culture, go-to. If you know what I'm talking about, give me a 1 in the chat. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, Reese Witherspoon and Ryan Felipe's daughter, they look so much alike. They would make a great kind of like Wonder Woman Hippolyta kind of duo, and but here's the quick story on Hippolyta. In the story, Hippolyta and the Amazons once resided, remember the Amazons, the all-women denizens of the Paradise Island. And this is how Paradise Island began. I mean, remember, Hippolyta is the queen of the Amazons, all right? So Hippolyta and the Amazons once resided in Amazonia in the days of ancient Greece, until they were beguiled and bested by the demigod Hercules, who had been inspired by the god of war, Mars. See the first Wonder Woman movie, aka Ares, the Roman version, to go after her. She was able to beat him thanks to the magic girdle, but he seduced her and tricked her into removing the girdle, allowing him to steal it. This caused the Amazons to lose their super strength and the favor of their patron goddess, Aphrodite. Eventually, she and the other Amazons were forgiven, but had to wear bracelets. Pew, pew, pew. The bulletproof bracelets, the golden, the bracelets and the lasso. These are Wonder Woman trappings, and the tiara, and the girdle. Yeah, the girdle too, right? The Amazons were forgiven, but had to wear bracelets to remind them of the folly of submitting to men. There was this is great. This was so subversive back then. It had buttons to push. This is the unpacking of Golden Age Wonder Woman. I love spending time with the original the Moulton Marston Wonder Woman, and it's in her characters, in her family. To regain their status, the Amazons were decreed to leave the mortal world and relocate to Paradise Island. They established their own society, free from the evils of man's world. So as long as they remained there and Hippolyta retained possession of her magic girdle, the Amazons would be immortal. Much of this history was adapted and expanded upon in the modern version of the Wonder Woman comics. For the most part, Hippolyta remained on Paradise Island during the Golden Era age, rarely interacting with the modern world to which her daughter had journeyed. Her role was that of the Amazon Queen and the mentor to Wonder Woman. She was devoted to Olympian goddesses, particularly the Amazon's patron Aphrodite, and was adamant that man never be allowed to set foot on Paradise Island. Indeed. And in the late 1950s, DC Comics introduced the concept of multiverse, and the Golden Age Hippolyta was established as existing on the world known as Earth 2. The last appearance of this incarnation of Hippolyta was in Wonder Woman Volume 1, number 97 in April of 1958, after which the focus shifted from Earth 2 to the modern versions on Earth 1. And so that's when we lose, for example, it was and then it starts talking about Diana's origin story, but we're talking about Hippolyta right now, and more specifically, something that happened in alongside the Wonder Woman comic books in the late 90s, early 2000s. It was the new golden age of Wonder Woman. This was Wonder Woman number 131. I want to see when this came out. Why? Oh no, that's volume 1. And that came out in 1962. I have to look up volume 2 then. Not to be confused with volume 3. And okay, 1998. Sorry about that, but hey. But in 1998, there was a retcon. And this is what plays back into this today. And it plays very well with these quote-unquote action figures in the toy box of this all. And after, the Crisis on Infinite Earths, 1985-86 is huge. I love Crisis on Infinite Earths, a DC superheroes event. Leaves many problems. Let's see, Hippolyta, along with Jay Garrick, travels back to the past to stabilize the current reality of Donna Troy as Wonder Girl and correct some of the problems of the time stream caused by a multiverse version of Donna Troy called Dark Angel, about her presence in the past. It was at this time that Hippolyta becomes the Golden Age Wonder Woman and native to the new reality, where she's the one that joins the Justice Society of America in the team's original days. Hippolyta would be the Golden Age Wonder Woman until the 1950s, until she returns to the present. So it's the World War II to the 1950s, and that part of the continuity. But I always liked that part, and showing that Hippolyta was the original Wonder Woman in a way. I think it plays very well to have an Earth Zero, that you have a JSA of the mid 20th century, and and how to justify that having with the old comics, and Batman and Superman were only on the team in an honorary way, so it's kind of easier to divorce those characters out of the story. But Wonder Woman is just was the secretary of the team, so she was there actually a little bit more than the other two of the Trinity. And in the stories within the pages, covers were one thing, but once you open that book, it's sometimes the covers don't follow. But yeah, we've been talking about Hippolyta, the Queen of the Amazons, and in her role, and because that's who we're talking. Let's look at the art one more time. This is Harry G. Peter art. I'm fascinated with the lettering of Wonder Woman herself, because their lettering was a little different when it came to the to the captions and the narrative caption and the voice bubbles. This lettering is really kind of unique to itself, to its time, I believe. I mean, is it a typeface? Like most lettering's done by freehand, by the letterer. Don't make me say that again, please, Pika. We're going to end it there. Thank you so very much for tuning in today. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. And please like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. We make daily content here. We make regular content. Daily content about comic books. Regular content about gratitude and purpose. And cooking. I show cooking techniques. I love sharing techniques. Hopefully you can just make yourself a better home cook. I mean, I love cooking. I love feeding people. And it's once you learn a good technique, it's really easy to make consistent quality, yummy, beautiful food. I'm a big fan of that. I was shown right, and the only way that these memories and these techniques will live on is through you. Thank you so very much. God bless. Namaste. We will see you again tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Cheers. Bye-bye.